Hello and welcome to the premiere episode of PC Engine CD Classics. The PC Engine CD was an add-on system for the PC Engine that required you to already own a PC Engine, or TurboGrafx as was known in North America, and then buy this add-on thing that you put on, and then you could get CDs. And the games that came on the CDs could be, quite a bit larger than what could be put on the Who cards, as well as having, CD quality audio, and it was really the next big thing in 1990 when the system was first introduced. Now, of course, they needed a killer app to show it off, and that killer app is a game I'm going to be focusing on this first episode, and that being Ys Books 1 and 2. Ys was originally released by Falcom for the PC Engine, for the PCE and then shortly after it was ported to the Sega Master System and the Famicom. The Famicom version was never ported to the NES, but the Master System version actually was. Ys Books 1 is on the Sega Master System, and you can get that domestically in North America, which is kind of unusual because there's the library for the Sega Master System in North America is pretty small, actually. So this game was the killer app for the PC Engine CD, and what it was a combination of both Ys Books 1 and Ys Books 2, which were originally separate games put together with brand new cutscenes, brand new graphics, and brand new music. The music is done by Yuzo Koshiro of Streets of Rage fame. His soundtracks are simply outstanding, and this game is just will blow you away if you've never heard the music here. So with all that said, let's press start and let's play some few minutes of this. NEC was the company that produced the Turbo Duo itself, or the PC Engine CD. But the game was done by Falcom. So what makes this so amazing? This opening sequence was something that was completely unheard of and unseen at the time. We were used to very, very simple games, like Final Fantasy came out in 1990 as well. Final Fantasy 1, that is. And, you compare that to this, it's literally like night and day, and you could see why, this system was being sold for $300 as a system add-on, and not like its separate thing, that if you bought a PC Engine CD, or a TurboGrafx CD as it was called, you still needed to actually buy a TurboGrafx. It was not something that you could just use on its own. So Ys Books 1 is Ancient Ys Vanished.
Ys, the ideal utopia. Once a country so peaceful and prosperous. A country where children were as free as the wind. A country where harmony blew through the hearts of all men. Ys, a kingdom ruled by the wisdom and charity of its 6 powerful priests. An empire watched over and blessed by the enchanting aura of its 2 beautiful goddesses. Ys, the seemingly tranquil paradise, suddenly pulled from the height of its civilization to the empty abyss of infinite isolation. How could such a land of promise simply vanish from the face of the planet? How could such prosperity be forgotten? The legend has been silenced for over 700 years. And now, the mystery unfolds.
There's the Japanese script, Isu. It's actually interesting because as this game came out for the Master System originally, it was originally written on the cover box and the cartridge itself that it was Y''S instead of YS. I guess this was just a localization guess, because then so if you read the Master System version, it kind of reads like Y's and not Ys, which is the proper pronunciation. So anyway, Ys vanished. You have to play part 1 before you can play part 2, because part 2 is a direct follow-up. Alright, so let's play some of this. Alright, so like all of the Ys games, they start with 2 options. You can either continue or you can begin. So let's start with beginning. Now prepare for some awesome 90s music. This music absolutely dates this game. It's so 90s, and it's just awesome. I love it. Starring the cast of characters of this game. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't have a PC Engine CD, or what was called in North America the Turbo Graphics CD, and I didn't know anyone who did. So this is a game that I only checked out towards the end of the decade, around 98, 99, somewhere in there. I started to hear about this game, and I didn't play it until the early 2000s. But I can imagine if I had seen this game as a youngster, I would have been blown away because, at the time, there was no notion of what anime was. And this game is absolutely anime. Just listen to that Yuzo Koshiro soundtrack there. Now that's something you can't do on Nintendo. So here's the actual game itself. It is an action RPG in the strictest sense of what action is. This is an RPG, kind of like Zelda, but it's not kind of like Zelda, it's kind of like its own thing, and I'll explain what I mean when I get into actual gameplay here. Now the music here is an interesting mix between PSG-generated sound, which is what you're hearing right now, and the Redbook sound, but it's both composed by Yuzo Koshiro, and it's both pretty awesome. Alright, so your first mission is to go get equipped. Now, it might seem a little strange that Ys is presented in this sort of like windowed area, and the reason it's done like that is because the game was originally on the PCE 88, and that game, that system had rather low resolution to begin with. Alright, so let's buy a short sword. And a shield. Oh, I don't have that much. I'll take that. Bye. Alright, now I have to figure out how to equip this stuff. Okay, equipment. I know I'm equipped it because now I'm holding out the sword. Alright, let's go back and see the fortune teller lady. Oh, I need armor. Boo. Alright, well, let's head out into the field and show you what I mean about this game being an absolute action RPG. So here's an enemy, but you don't actually have a button to attack an enemy. You attack enemies by literally running into them. It's very strange, but this is the way that Ys works. You do damage, or the enemy does damage, depending on the angle of the attack. If you directly attack an enemy head-on, there's a chance that you'll take damage, or the enemy will take damage. But if you attack them at the side, you know, it's like you're glancing them with your sword. Also, notice that my HP is 18 out of 20 right now. So I lost health, but if I stop, it slowly recovers. The same is true for enemies. So you want to make sure you take out enemies as soon as possible. And again, the music here is top-notch stuff. It's really, you know, great music. This wooden guy, this wooden golem, is a little bit tougher, so I want to make sure I'm careful when I attack the golem here. The dogs are pretty vicious. Recover. Now, over the years, this game has been re-released on many different formats. It's available for PC. It's available for you know, the Wii. You can get this version actually, the PC Engine version on the Wii. It's available for the DS. There's Ys Books 1 and 2 for DS. Ys Chronicles for the PSP as an absolutely amazing version of Ys Books 1 and 2. In fact, that's probably the definitive version if you're going to play this game. But this one, you know, is the one that comes to mind for most people when they think of Ys. It was done at a time when games like this were not very common. You know, this game was an anime-style game. It was one that required voice acting and, you know, really professional attention to detail. And, you know, considering other PC Engine RPGs of the time, Ys actually has a really good translation. It doesn't come across like they just pulled people off the street to read lines and stuff like a lot of other Ys games do. Or a lot of other Falcom games do. And I guess it's because they had a budget that they wanted to spend, because this is the game that they had to try and convince people to spend an obscene amount of money on the system for. And, you know, considering that it was not very common, that I didn't know anyone when I was a kid who had this. I knew plenty of people who had, like, even the Sega CD, including myself. But the PC Engine, the TurboGrafx, plus the CD attachment, nah, you're not gonna find that. Alright. So I have 500 gold now. Is that enough? Let's go back. I think I need 700. Well, let's go back into town. Let's go see what everyone else has to say. You can enter certain buildings, and the ones that you can't are the ones that have the closed doors. Well, I can enter the bar here. We can be a jerk. Alright, the hospital. What I want to do here is I want to buy shield. I need to buy a shield. A small shield. 700. Dang it. Overworld music's not playing for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. Its CD is skipping or something. Oh well. That thing can happen with the hardware. So anyway, I'm just going to continue on right now and talk to these people. Sure. No, I can't keep a secret. No. Yep, and go to the thieves' den. The CD audio isn't playing for some reason. It normally does, but you know, CDs technology is old. I suppose if I emulated it, wouldn't have this problem, but whatever. Man, I'm so high up. Look at this go. Yeah. Who could steal valuables? I can't go that way. So yeah, this is pretty much Ys here. It's a very interesting game, and you know, has some really great dialogue and some, you know, it's very iconic. Maybe to explain to some of my younger audience why this game is so amazing, you know, they wouldn't really understand, you know, because games have voice acting and, you know, epic storylines and cutscenes and everything. You know, they're a dime a dozen these days, but not back then. This was really something special. And plus, Ys is just a lot of fun to play. You know, that's the other thing about this game that, oh, okay. Well, nice person. No, it actually just plays into the plot of the game, but whatever. So, yeah, anyway, this will about do it for this video. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about Ys Books 1 and 2, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Also, if you played multiple versions of Ys, tell me which version that is your favorite. You know, personally, my favorite version by far is Ys Chronicles on the PSP. I just absolutely adore that version of this game. But, you know, maybe that you guys like this version, or maybe another version. I haven't personally played all of them. I played the PS2 version of Ys, which is like the version of the PC version, I believe. But yeah, yeah, let me also know what PC Engine games or CD games you want me to cover in the future. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and take care.